Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, we successfully complete our get all the data. So now in this video, I want to update our add subcategory. Now let's do that work. For doing this, that is one of the menu. As a add subcategory. For the add subcategory, I want to create another new route that will be the add subcategory. Okay, and also I want to update the same route. in our sidebar. Into the sidebar there is also add subcategory. Better one, so I want to update these things in here. Now great. So from here you can actually access it. Rather than you can also access it from to this position. Okay, great. So now we have to create our add subcategory. Better I copy it. Now if you go to our web route, now that will be as a add subcategory. Our URL will be as a add subcategory. I want to create another new method that will be as a add subcategory. Now I copy it. I want to create this type of another method in our category controller. So now go to our category controller here. After that, that will be as a public and then function, and our method name will be as a add subcategory. So here I want to return one of the view page, and also I want to load our all that categories data. Okay, so here that will be also needed. So for doing this, I want to better take one of the variable. Okay, take one of the variable as a categories. So that will be the categories, and then I want to get all the data from to the category, and the latest data I want to get it. Okay, so then that will be get all data. It's great. Now I want to return one of the view page. That will be as a return. Okay, return one of the view page. Return view means that will be the same in our backend folder, in our subcategory folder. Now I want to create another new one as a subcategory add, and also here I get that all that our categories data, and now I want to pass these categories data in here. Now that will be our categories. Great. So right now friend, we have to create our page in our subcategories add in our subcategory folder. So into the subcategory folder, I want to create another new one. Now click as a save as. I name it as a category subcategory add.blade.php, and here that will be the same as per our category add. If you go to that our category add, I want to copy everything from here, and now in our subcategory add area I want to paste it. Okay, great. So right now that will be as a add subcategory, and then that will be also as a add subcategory, and that is a category name. Okay, category name will be needed, and also here we need another one. Better I copy it, and after that I paste it, because our category name should be display, and also our subcategory name will be display, right? So that will be our subcategory name, and our subcategory name field name I want to use as per our database field name. Our database field name as a subcategory underscore name. So now that will be as a subcategory name. I make it as a subcategory. Great. Now that will be our subcategory, and here I want to load our category. So for the reasons here, I have already get all that our categories data, and also I pass it in our subcategory add page by the name as a categories. Right. So now here we have to run one of the for each loop, and here I want to load one of the select from, not that input field. If you go to our theme, from to the theme, that is actually one of the select from, right? I want to better copy it. I make it as inspect, and by the inspect, that is one of the select. Better I want to edit it with HTML. I copy that select from, and now in our input field, into the input field area, I want to paste it. Okay, so now that will be our select from. Better I want to make it a little bit left side. Great. So now let's check this out. If you now click as a save all, and now if you go our page, refresh it, and now if you click as a add subcategory, you can see that will be all that our category. Now that should be loaded, and here that should be our subcategories. So if you want to load all that our categories, I have already get all that our categories data, and I take the things with this variable. I pass it in our subcategories add page. Now here I want to simply load one of the for each loop. Better one, I want to make it as empty. Okay, or rather than here I want to display as a select category. Okay, select one category, and also after that I want to take another option. So that will be another option. I want to close it, and here I want to load one of the for each loop. So that will be one of the add the rate for each, and also I want to end it. That will be the and for each. Great. So into the for each area, here I want to get all that our data by the name as a categories, right? Here I get all the data by the categories. I make it as category. Okay, as category. Now by this category I want to display our name, all that our name value will be displayed. But now by this category I want to display our category table field name as a category underscore name, right? Underscore name. So that will be our category name will be displayed. If you go, you can see our field name as a category underscore name. And also here into the option area I want to pass that value. When you select it, here I want to pass that our category ID. So here I have already get all that our categories data, take the things with this variable. Now by this category I also want to pass that our category table ID. Great. Now all that our category should be loaded. If you click as a save all, now if you go, now if you refresh it, there is a syntax error, unexpected and for file, and for each. You can see a spelling mistake, so that will be the and for each, right? Great. Now click as a save all. Now refresh it. Perfect. You can see now that is our category 1 is selected as a category 1. Select one category, and you can see right now I have the 3 category. For the reasons is now display as a 3 category. If you go, if you refresh it, you can see right now in our categories table there is a 3 data. So right now it successfully display all that our categories data. Great. So now I want to insert this data. So if you also want to insert it in our select area, I want to also put that field name, our name. I want to use it as per our database field name. For the subcategories, I name it as a category ID. That will be our requested field name. Okay, here that is our category ID. Perfect. And that is also another one as a subcategory name. And that is one of the form, submit form. Now we have to create another one. And also if you want to update that our form, here you can also do it. I better copy it. That is our subcategory name. I want to add some of the validation. Our subcategory name will be as a required, and subcategory's name will be displayed as a please enter subcategory name. Okay, subcategory name. Great. And also that is our form group. Form group will be displayed in here. Perfect. So here there is a form group. Now if you click as a save all, I want to also check it. Now if you refresh it, and if you make it as a empty, okay, like field is empty, click as a save changes. Yes, please enter the subcategory name. Our validation is also successfully working. And now I want to update our name. That will be as a subcategory store. This type of one of the route I want to create. That will be as a subcategory store. I copy it in our web, into the web. I want to replace it from the category to the subcategory. The process is same. You can see there is a subcategory, that means a store subcategory. I want to create another new method as a store subcategory. Now to create it, so that will be the store subcategories in our category controller. So friend, that will be just like our category store. So better I copy that category total store from here. Okay, there is a category store. I want to copy it, and then here after that I want to paste it. I paste it. So that will be just like that same, only our method will be another one as store subcategories in our category controllers, into the category controller. Now that will be as a store subcategories. The rest of this will be same. And that is our, now I want to store it in our which table. I want to store it in our subcategories table. So now that will be our model name as a subcategories. Insert our database field name. They have also another database field name. I want to add it. That will be our name. Name will be as a category ID. So that will be as a category ID. Category ID will be our which one? Category ID will be in here. I have already named it as a category underscore ID. Okay. Now that will be our requested category ID, and also another field will be as a subcategory name. Okay, that will be the subcategory name. I copy it. That will be the subcategory name will be our requested field name. Our requested field name, I name it as a subcategory underscore name. So now that will be as a subcategory underscore name. And also for the subcategories, I have created another slag. So now that will be as a subcategory slag. Subcategory slag will be the same here. That will be requested our subcategory name, right? So now that will be our subcategory name. Great. And that will be start to lower. I have already discussed about every part with you. That's all. Now that will be displayed on the notification as a subcategory. Okay, subcategory inserted successful. It will be return redirect to our route. For the all, I have created as all subcategories. Now that will be as all subcategories. Great. Now if you click as a save all, and now that should be inserted all that our data. If you now go on to refresh it, Like for education purpose, I want to access our sports, and for the sports I want to create another new one as a cricket. Okay, so that will be as a cricket, and this type of one of the subcategories I want to create. Now click as a save changes. You can see it's now successfully inserted as a subcategory, inserted successfully. And now it's display our category ID, it's display our category name. Great. If you want to add another one, I want to add another one in here as a sports and as a football. I click as a save changes. Perfect. Subcategory is inserted successful. Also, if you want to add another one in our international or business, into the business I want to make it as online. Okay, online business, and now click as a save changes. Perfect. You can see now that is our another category ID is inserted, and also is display our subcategory's name. Great, but here one thing, I don't want to display our category ID. Here if you go, I have already created one of the category table ID. If you now click as a browse, then now that will be very clear to you. Here you can see that is our one of the category ID, category ID 3. Category ID 3 means if you go our categories table, that is our ID, and into the categories table ID you can see 3 means the sports, right? Because that is one of the foreign key of our that category table. So now I want to create one of the relationship from our subcategories table. So into the subcategories table, that is one of the category ID, so that will be matched with our categories table ID. When both of this will be matched, I want to get this category name data. Okay, so if you want to do this work, we have to create one of the relationship in our subcategories table. Now if you go to our model, how much easily we can do this work, I show you. Like into the model, if you go to that our subcategories, into the subcategories area I want to create another new function that will be as a public, and then that will be as a function, and I just name that function as a category. Okay, whatever the name actually choose, now I name it as a category. Great. So right now I want to do return, that will be as a return, and this, so that will be as a return this. Okay, here we have to add it, that will be return this, and return this will be our which one. Here it should be belongs to, that means in our categories these categories will be belongs and belongs to. It should be belongs to our which table, it should be belongs to our category table. So if you want to access this category table, here we have to access it by the model as a category, right? So now by this it will be belongs to our category table. So now that will be as a category table class. Now that is a category table class. Great. Here in our subcategories table, one of the field on our subcategories table, one of the field as a category underscore ID. So I name it as a category underscore ID. This category ID will be matched with our category table ID, right? So that is our categories table ID. So right now that is our categories table and categories table ID. Okay, here by this we can actually create it one of the relationship. Now I hope it's very clear. Now that is a subcategories table will be belongs to our category table, where our subcategories table category ID will be matched with our categories table ID. So here I simply created that relationship. I named that function name as a categories. So now by these categories we can actually display it. In that case, if you go to our subcategories all, before you can see I have directly access our ID, that means category ID. For the reasons it's now display one of the ID. So now I want to change it here. Now that will be, first of all I want to do, that is the item. By this item, first of all we have to add that our relationship name, that means relationship name I name it in our model as a category, right? Here first of all we have to add that our category, that means our function name, and after that our name. So here by this we are able to access our category table field. Our category table field I want to display the category underscore name. Now that should be display not that ID, it should be display the category name. Like if you now click as a save all, and now if you go, now if you refresh it, now that should be display our category name. Yes, you can see it's now display the sports, and here I have selected as esports, and that will be for the business. Okay, so how to create some of the relationship in Laravel between both of this table, I hope friend it's very much clear to you. So in our next video, I want to complete that edit and update functionality. So how to do this work in our next video, I will show you that things with a live example. So thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.